Hello, everybody, and welcome to our fourth out of five sessions on the WeTransfer Educate Series. Hope you're all doing good. Voice out in chat. Let me know where you all are, where you're all coming from. And let me just real quickly add our speaker on the stage, and then I'll go through some initial bits as he gets settled in for. Settled in for the KILT Protocol introduction to DIDs. In the meantime, let me just quickly go through some general bits. As I said, we've gone through, this is going to be the fourth of 5 sessions for the Educate series. And if you have not, or if you don't know already yet, there is a bounty associated with this Educate series, which means that there are 10K up for grabs if you end up building for the bounty that was presented by the Apilon team. I'm going to quickly show a few links, which are the most important links for you to even know. The first one of them is the Hacker Pack. This is where we keep in all the important information stored for you. That would mean, recordings of previous events, as well as any needed documentation that might be of use to you, to build for the bounty. You will get the list of the speakers that previously presented, as well as all the topics that they covered, those that are upcoming. For those of you that don't know who to build with, we have no other devs to rely on. We have made sure to create a dedicated page for you to add your profile. The link that you're seeing on your screen is basically a short form that will end up, helping you to add your profile to a list of developers that are looking for teams, and ideally form a team and create something. And if you are someone that is looking on who these developers are, those that have already filled in the form, please have a look through this link, which is a nice gallery view of everyone that has ever, submitted their profile so far. People that are looking to team up, people that want to build something. So don't be a stranger. Reach out, create a profile, and hopefully you'll form a team and submit something that can get you part of the huge prize pool we have available for this program. I have already sent an invite to Andrés. I don't know if there's an issue with it, but let me just quickly redo that.
Hi.
Hey, Andrés.
Thanks for having me.
One last thing for me to know for everyone. As I said, there is a bounty. There is going to be a 2-week period for you to build. If you're not building already, you're free to start doing so. If you're still waiting for all the workshops to be finished before you start your developer experience and journey, you can just keep in mind that there's going to be 2 weeks after the final workshop that you will be able to use for coding. That means on June 5, is going to be your deadline for submitting your project. So keep it in mind, June 5, deadline for submission. We've added all the dates in the Hacker Pack, but again, we'll keep on reiterating these over the next couple of weeks so that you keep that in mind. But yeah, not going to take too much time from Andrés. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great here in Berlin at our KILT offices. I'm
amazing office, by the way. So the view is great. You don't need a background like I do.
Yeah, maybe it's not the best spot for the background, but it's great. You can see a little bit of our office
here. Yeah, well, giving the word to you. Take it away. And very excited.
Very much. Then I will start sharing my screen then. Okay, so welcome to today's presentation as part of the WeTransfer workshop. Today, I'm going to talk about logging with KILT Credentials. And for that, I'm going to explain what are digital identities, so DIDs and verifiable credentials. That's the focus of our project, KILT. KILT Protocol, we are a blockchain, partition of Polkadot, and our focus is on identity, as I say. So first, we're going to explain a little bit about general usage of identities, and then we're going to focus on logging with credentials. A little bit about myself. I'm Andrés Rodríguez. I'm here a software developer here at KILT. we're based in Berlin, and I also study here electrical engineering at the Technical University of Berlin. Okay, for it to do, we can start a presentation. Before we start, I want to say if anyone has a question, please go forward with it. You can either just raise your voice. I don't know, Jason, if there are people allowed to just ask questions like that.
So people will not be able to speak or join the stage. That's only for speakers. But for those who don't have questions, please navigate to the chat section or question section on the bottom right. Feel free to post your questions. There's also other representatives from the KILT team in the room as well. You can see it in chat. Dudley from the KILT team is here. So feel free to, he's off screen, but he will be answering all of your questions. So don't be shy if something pops up. Do let him know and he'll reply.
Great. Yeah, Jason said, Dudley is right next to me, and he's ready to answer all your questions or tell me about it so I can mention it here. Okay, before to do, let's start. DIDs, decentralized identifiers. What are those? So there are reference. It's a big number or letters and numbers, a long string representing that reference to a document on the chain. So it's similar to an account that you have this long number, and it also holds keys. There is a private keys and the public keys, so cryptographic keys, and the public keys are on the chain, and the private keys you own it yourself. But it's different in the sense that first you can have several keys. So what this identifier reference on the chain is a document, and it has different keys with different usages, and you can rotate them with time. And beside that, it's a bit decoupled from the account. So a DID itself, it doesn't hold balances, but you could link accounts to it. You could link accounts from KILT, but also from other blockchains. So regularly, it's a long string of letters and numbers that's it's unique, but it's hard to remember. So you could have a username for it, a human readable name. We call it Web3 names that you can use to reference to it. So the DID itself, it's unique as well, but as soon as somebody uses it, nobody else can use it again. So even if you delete it, you can deactivate it. Nobody can take it again, but the Web3 name, you can claim it and release it, and somebody else could take it as name. Again, like a username in a social network. But this is not all what the identity is. The whole identity is formed by the identifier and the verifiable credentials. So verifiable credentials and identifiers form the identity. What are verifiable credentials? So much as everything you have regular in your wallet, membership card or ID card, license card, they describe yourself. And much as that, the verifiable credentials do that, and they allow you to access services or give you permissions for X or Y. And on top of that, you could also link accounts from KILT or from Ethereum or from Polkadot addresses or any, but as I said, you don't have to. So it's really decoupled the identity from the account, much as your credit card and your ID card are different. To the verified credentials, it's important to say they are not on the chain. The verified credentials You own them, you have them, and you need to prove that they are yours by signing when you present them, so using the keys from the DID. But they itself, they are not a chain. On the chain, there is a verification or attestation that says who issued you this credential and if they're still valid. For example, for a membership or a work credential, after time, the issuer could revoke them. Okay, this is the core attribute, the core feature from KILT, and on top of this, we built much stuff. And first, we want to go through the KILT protocol workflow. This is the main use cases. So we have, we can differentiate three types of entities. They all have their DIDs, but they serve different functions, or they play different roles at the given moment. So we're going to focus on the holder. That's the regular user. It has a DID, it has the keys, and it wants to get some credentials. I hope you can see my mouse here in the middle. He wants to get the credentials. How does he get his credentials? It has to get them from a user, user. So it comes and it makes a claim about itself. It says, okay, I don't know, in case of university degree or something, I know math, or in case of a membership, oh, this is myself, this is my data, and this is the receipt that I paid for this month, and the issuer is an institution or entity, trusted entity that verifies this, checks this in real life, and then attest it on the chain. So they leave a mark. You can see the timestamp, and you can see the validity, the current validity of the credential on the chain. And then you get back the certified credential, the attested credential. And with the attested credential, then you can show it to verifiers here on the right side. So they basically give you access to different services. What do the verifiers does? They look at their credential, the structure of it, the information of it, and also they look who was the issuer, if it's a trustworthy person, and the current validity of it on the chain. And of course, they can check through the keys of your DID if you are really the owner of the credential. This means if you're really the owner of the DID, because if you have the keys of the DID, and you can prove it by using your private key to sign, then this means you are also the owner of the credential. So what it's accredited for is for you. So let's say, for example, if you lost your wallet with the credentials, or like your membership card, nobody could use it if they don't have your private key. Okay, so this is the basic workflow and general workflow overview. Maybe I could also say here, when the issuer does the attestation on the chain, what they do is they take the information from the credential, they hash it using their keys, and they save it on the chain. What basically have like a representation of this credential, the ID of the issuer, and the current validity status, if it's what's revoked or not. Okay, then we can change to today's focus, that it is specifically to the WeTransfer workshop. So we have this project. We want people to be able to implement a similar service to WeTransfer, but on Web3. And for our part, as KILT, we offer I think the best will be, or the more practical thing to be, is enabling people to log in with their Web3 credentials. So login with KILT Credentials. What it is just providers verifying credentials to grant holders access to the services. So it's this part of the whole workflow. Yeah. So the issuance of the credential, we'll leave it to the side. There's already some other institutions doing it, and we hope. I mean, you could also look into that in the future, but right now there's, for example, Deloitte is current issuing credentials, or there's Social KYC, that it's a KILT product that it make credentials about this social network. So you can get credentials for your Twitter, your email, your Telegram, and so on. So basically, does the whole verification process with the send in the email, or you have to tweet something. So the whole verification to really prove that the owner of this DID also owns the email or also owns the Twitter account is done once. And after a user has these credentials, they can then use it for several different providers without then really having to go through the whole verification process. Let's say like sending the SMS that happens in every website or stuff. So you can see here, of course, then the holder will take the place of a user on the Web2 world, and the verifier will be the service provider. Let's say, for example, Discord wants to know which is your email and really know that you own this email. If they trust Social KYC or Deloitte issuing this email credential, and you can prove that you own this credential by signing, then they will give you access to their services. Okay, so what are the benefits of this? Oh, no, sorry. Let's first go to the user requirements. What the users need to do before logging in. So basically what they have to do before, they need to have a wallet or an extension that follows the KILT Credential API specifications. There's a link here on the orange words. This PDF will be published afterwards. You can click on the links or just go through our GitHub. And this wallet allows them to store their on-chain DID or the keys to this on-chain DID, and also the credentials. Like I said before, the credentials are not stored on the chain, but they are stored by the user, the holder, on the wallet, most conveniently. And the user could have different types of credentials, like identity card from the government, or the university degree, or phishing license, or a membership of whatever they think. But to be really useful, it has to be a credential that the app considers valid. So I imagine if you are a service like WeTransfer, you probably wouldn't rather to accept phishing licenses, but you would rather accept email credentials, for example. So the credential has to be first of a C type accepted by the app. What is this? So a C type is, it stands for claim type. So it describes the structure of the credential. So it includes the name, the age, the address, whatever. And then for it to be considered valid, it should also be issued by one of the dApp's trusted attesters. So anyone could actually attest a credential if they follow the specifications. But of course, it's not the same if my neighbor issues me a driver's license, or if my national transit institution issues me a driver's license. So you don't only need to look at the credential and say, okay, looks good, has all information that I need, but also like who did this. And with our technology, with the KILT protocol, you can really prove that it was made by the person who says on the credential that it was done by. And also, you could also check that it's still valid. For example, for a work email, it's very makes sense that you get this credential attested by your work company, and you were working there, and afterwards you stop working with the company. You still have the credential, but the work company decides, okay, we revoke it because he doesn't have access anymore to it. So this is a use case why it is possible to revoke credentials over time. Or if it's a membership, for example, it can just expired. Okay. Is there any questions to this moment? No? Okay. Yeah, maybe at this point you'll also pop into your mind, how do users get an attested credential? This is also explained here. I will leave this for afterwards, but this is out of scope. This is not the main goal of this workshop. But what you need to do, what you need to know is after they've get a attested credential, now the user can use this credential everywhere where the issuer is trusted. Okay, let's continue. So why? What are the benefits of login with KILT credentials? We have decentralized verifiable credentials, yeah? Decentralized identities, verifiable credentials. So no central instance can track your interaction. Only the service provider and the user itself know that it's happening, that you're logging in and you're showing the credential there. If the credential, for example, is too long, maybe you get a credential from your workplace or from your national country, and it has your address, your name, your birth date. But for a specific service, you only need your age and maybe your email. Then you can choose what to disclose, which information to disclose. So the user controls which information to disclose from this credential at the moment of presentation. And this allows, because we basically delegate this all to the issuer, that it's allowed a way lower threshold at the moment to use a service, because you don't need to create an account on your website beforehand before accessing the service. You don't need to have an additional password for specific for the website, and you don't need to send a verification email or similar, an SMS every time you go and log into a new website, because it's, the credential is reusable. And going back to, again, to no central instance can track your interaction. Not even the issuer can see that you are using this. So, for example, nowadays there's this comfy ways of logging in with using big companies like Google or Facebook or stuff, that you don't have to make an extra account for them, but it will always go through them, and they will process and give back the information to the website. So of course they track all your interactions. On this or on our solution, no one can track your interaction. Okay, so implementation. Yeah, so concrete implementation. There are two main paths for implementation. For logging in with KILT credentials. You can do it directly into your application, like develop the whole thing, following the process shown on the Web3 login demo repository. That's the educational repository. Explains the whole process, like go back and forward within the front end and back end, and the wallets and stuff. It's doable and it's very informative. I encourage you to check it out if you want to really understand everything. Or you can just implement it on an extra container that takes care of it. So a already done version. For example, using OpenDID by KILT, we have this solution that's already made, that it's a containerized solution that you deployed. So we give you the code and you have the container, you deploy it. It handles all the interactions between the container, so this redirected website, and the wallet, and then the website gets the authentication token back. And the OpenDID follows the OpenID implicit flow. If you're familiar, maybe you're familiar with this. And this is very fast to implement. This will be also the focus of today. But it's not the only one that it's possible to do. You can also use the version made by our partners, Apelon. They develop SDKs for much chains and stuff. They're great, and they have a similar solution, but they implement the open auth flow. So maybe your application already have open auth. You can then rather use Apelon, or if you like OpenID, you can use OpenID. It's up for you. We're not gatekeepers. We are for decentralization. Go experiment. Go check out Apelon. They're great. So, but today we're focusing on OpenDID. I'm going to showcase. So, yeah, OpenDID, bring Web3 to your website in less than an hour. As I say, it's a containerized option, but you deploy the containers yourself. So we're going to go through the OpenDID flow, very abstract. So what you really need to know. So you have the user with the wallet, and you have the website. It could be anything. Here is example, Mario's Whiskey Shop. It only has to add this button on the website. And of course, now it will be your implementation of W3transfer. And then you have the decentralized login that is the OpenDID containers. They have some backend and some front end, KILT front end. So when the user clicks on login with KILT, it gets redirected to the front end of OpenDID. Then OpenDID starts interacting with the user. So with the wallet, it asks for a specific credential. The wallet show it to the user. The user says, okay, yeah, let's do it. Send this credential and sign here. And then OpenDID gets it, look that it's all right. And if it's all right, then it makes a ID token that it gets sent back to the regular website. And then it's all Web2 from this point. So you can see it's a very easy flow. And today we are going to show how it's really easy also to implement it, to use it. So yeah, step-by-step OpenDID showcase implementation. I'm going to do this right after the presentation. But before that, I also have to show some slides, the legal note. I'm not going to read this, but you can check it out afterwards. And of course, thank you for your attention. Here is our impressum, so our contact data, and yeah, you can also check my information, my email under my Web3 name. It's Andrés with a 3. And of course, I encourage you guys to go to our Discord channel or our Telegram channel and ask for questions. We have some great colleagues ready to help there. And I also wish you to have fun breaking the code and working on this hackathon, this workshop. Okay, so if there's any questions regarding the presentation, it will be great that you do it now. If not, I will go back to the.
Dudley has been really helpful with everyone in the audience and replying to pretty much all the questions that we've had by now. But yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, I have like two screens, like one screen with the presentation and one screen with the notes of the keynote, so I can not really see the notes of the. It's called live stream.
If you have any questions, feel free to voice them in chat. In the meantime, as I said, please do keep an eye on the Hacker Pack for information regarding the bounty. You are free to start working already. If not, feel free to reach out and find a team. I can share the forms with you once again, so that if needed, you can try and find yourself a team, like-minded people to work with. So once again, the link on your screen is to fill in the form, to basically adding your profile among everybody else that is looking for a team. And please do look through the other one of the people that are already signed up to look for one. Hopefully, we will be able to find people.
Okay.
Very well. And yeah.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were done. Apologies.
Yeah, I'm do the hands-on showcase implementation now. So don't say that yet. We'll just okay. Then we'll start hands-on. Yeah. So first, let's go to the browser. You can see now. I hope you can see now. Yeah, great. This is our website from KILT. Here you can find information, everything possible. Very well detailed, but today we're going to focus on the OpenDID GitHub, OpenDID repository on GitHub. It's here under KILT Protocol. Before that, I will shortly want to mention the Web3 login demo. That is more at an educational repository. It has a long README. This is basically the documentation about it, and it also has here the login process, very detailed, all the interactions between the extension, browser, and server. What is basically what OpenDID takes care for you, and also Apelon takes care for you. So if you really want to know how it works, you can check it out. And yeah, you can also deploy it or locally, and it should look like this. This is a deploy version. Yeah, but today we're going to focus on the OpenDID. That's way faster in technical implementation of it. So you can see here we're on the KILT Protocol OpenDID repository, and you go down here. Just follow the steps. It's very self-explanatory, but still, we're going to do the hands-on. So basically, it conforms 3 containers, OpenDID. You have one container that helps you do the whole configuration. You have one container that's really what you deployed from OpenDID. That's the real front-end and back-end of OpenDID. That's the one you have to deploy it afterwards, and it will interact with your website. And then we have a container that is just a example front end of a website that you should replace with your own website or your own project. But of course, we have a demo project here for the demo. So yeah, before starting the configuration, you see you need 2 environment variables. One is the seed, and one is the endpoint. You have to decide if you want to interact with the KILT production chain called SpiritNet, or the KILT testnet called Peregrine. And you need a seed of an account, not of a DD, but of an account, because the setup container will create a DID for you and store the keys in files that the main container needs. Store the keys and the configuration files on and 3 different files that you need for. That's the only thing you need for the real OpenDID container. So let's. Today we're going to do it on the testnet. So you can. I encourage you to first do it in that. If you use the Sporent version of the test version of Sporent, you will get this pop-up saying hey, this is the test version, don't send real coins. If you want to go to real Sporent, you click OK, but now we don't want the real Sporent, we want the test one. It looks like this with this attention frame. And let's just create one from the beginning. So add an identity. You can create an identity as well inside of Sporent, but today we're just gonna stick with the first step, that is create an account. Here, this is like 2 minutes of me writing down the passphrase, or 30 seconds, hopefully, but on the time you can interact with Dudley maybe. You want to say something? No? Or you can ask questions to Dudley, or I can read it out aloud, the passcode, but it's a test. I was on the test chain, so it's not worth it to steal my seat. And then I have to type it once. Please, if I make any typo, don't hesitate to tell me about it. Slide. Today, code, height, and shove. Okay. Then, as Sporent regularly asks you to type on the passkey, the passphrase, so to be sure you write it down correctly. You always have to secure your passphrase, please. Bring, found, fade, tenant, slide, flush, today, code, hide. Whoops. Hide and shove. Okay, next step. And then I just choose a password. Okay, now we'll have our identity, a new identity. Let's call it WeTransfer with a 3. Workshop. And as you can see, it doesn't hold any balance at the moment. That's a problem because we need this account only to create a DID. So we need to put money on it. So we copy the address here and we go to the faucet. I see my colleague Dudley already posted a link. You put it here on the faucet and you request the tokens. It will send you 100 Peregrine coins, so the KILT Play coins. And on the meantime, I can go to the repository. Oh, yeah. So I already cloned the repository. You don't really have to clone the repository. You can just run these Docker commands, and it will already get what you need from Docker already packed. But here is all the code because everything is transparent. So you can see all the code that's being used on the Docker containers. So I have it here already cloned, and I'm just going to use the terminal here. I hope it's readable. I think it is. Okay, I'm just going to first type down the seed here once. This file is just a helper. You don't really need this one. It's called .nodes. It's not the environment variables. You have to give them in differently. Bring from fate tenant. How's the time? Flush today. Code height. If you notice any typo, please let me know. That's what I have to do it twice. Corn infant bright from fate tenant light flush. Yeah, today code height show. Okay, looks good. Copy. Times. Oh yeah, I'm looking back again. Okay, so to set the environment variable, it depends on your flushes. Right? Oh, thank you. Great. So to set the environment variables, it depends on your system, of course. I'm using Mac, Apple, so I set it up with sport command, and then the value, the name of the variable, everything on big equals to the value. And you can always check if it works doing echo. So it looks good. And then the README also says you need to set the endpoint. We can copy it directly from here. We're using the testnet, so export endpoint paraben. Looks good. And with that, we can already run the first command, the first Docker container that it's to set up everything. I'm gonna let it run and then explain a little bit what it's doing here. You see it's a Docker command. So it is getting this container from docker.io KILT Protocol, and this is the name of the container, OpenDID setup. Like it is, and it's passing also this seed that it needs for the command. So it's asking me here, I need to install one package I don't have that the container needs, so I click Y and enter. And you see what it's trying to do is generating a DID, so creating a DID. If everything works well, it should make this configuration files and then close itself, the container itself. So it's only needed once, the configuration of the OpenDID setup container. It looks like it's good. You see here is the address of the account that I passed with the seed. It has 100 kilts. It looks with so many zeros because kilts has 15 decimal values, 15 decimal places. And it made a new DID. So it's registering. You can see that the string of numbers and letters that describe the account and the DID are different. Oops, I think I click on a link. Oh no. Okay. Even if you use the same seed, they are going to be different. But in this case, the OpenDID setup container uses different seeds. You can, now it's done. Yeah, so you can see it created these three files: config yum, did document JSON, and did secret JSONs. You can go first to this one. This is the easiest one. Did document JSON. This is basically what you can see on chain. This is what it's stored from the DID on chain, that you have the reference of the DID, and you have different types of keys with their identification of the key. Key identification is normally the whole DID, and then hashtag, and then this part. It says the type of the key, and here the public key. This is all information from the chain. Everybody can see this. Then you have another document with the secrets. This is only for you, of course. And here you can see they all use this seed, but they have a derivation, different derivation for each key. You can have the same one, but it's encouraged to have different derivation path. You could even have different seeds for different keys. Here, just to see, like, this one is different one. This seed is the different one than the one we gave for the account. And then there is the config YAWN. That is what really describes how the OpenDID container is going to work. It has here the ports, where it's going to be hosted, the KILT endpoint. So if you're interacting with the testnet or the production chain, it has here the keys, or the public keys only, that is going to use to communicate with the identity extension, so with the wallet of the user. Here for the JSON W tokens, the DID that it uses, it puts on the JW token, the secret for the signature of the JW token, and the algorithm it uses. You can configure all of this afterwards to your better fitting. This is a well-known DID. This is part of the credential API specification. So the the website, when it interacts with the extension, it has a background page with a document. It's basically like self-attest credential. And the extensions regularly check that to see that this website you're visiting is really the one that it's saying it is. But you don't have to worry about that. The extension does it all. And then here the clients. So the clients are, in this case, in this context, the website that is using it. We're just gonna use the example client, because we didn't specify a lot of during the setup. It just uses the default values, so it uses the example client, and here it's what type of credential is gonna require from the user. So at the moment of the login, it's gonna ask for the extension, hey, give me this type of credential. So here the C-type hash. So this is the one that describes the structure of the credential, type of data, age, email, name. There's a register with all the C-types that are already on chain. Yeah, the structure of the C-type that's safe on chain. And the C-type, it's called like that, the claim type, the structure type. Then you have the truster attester. So in this case, like, who do we trust for issuing the credentials? In this case, I think it's just social KYC on Peregrine on the testnet. And then from this C-type, which properties are really required to be disclosed at the moment of presentation, at the moment of showing the credential, if they have to disclose everything or just disclose one property. Okay, and then the redirect URL. So this is the URL of the real of your website, of the website using OpenDID. Okay, then we're done with the setup. You can also check here, always doing Docker, running Docker PS to see the running containers. Right now, there's none. I didn't mention about Docker. I don't know if everyone is familiar with that. Docker is like a container manager. There is also, you can use Docker or you can use Podman. Podman is also nice. If you want to use Podman, just replace all the commands where the Docker says with Podman. Yeah, this is the prerequisites. We already fulfilled them. We put more than 3 kilts. We put 100 kilts from the test net. We have already the wallet. The wallet you can get it if you go to the Sporan repository. It's under BTE trusted entity, but I think you can find it later. If you Google GitHub Sporan extension, you will find it. Here you can find how to download the test version for internals or for you guys, external developers. So it will look like this with the warnings on the side that is test, so don't put real coins. And if you want to get the real one, just go to kilt.io and here on services is Sporan. Okay, let's go back to the OpenDID repository. Yes, this is the setup. It's done. Now we can start running real service, running the one that you have to deploy, OpenDID. So we need this command. But before that, we need to set this environment variable. I know it's weird, but yeah, this one only is needed on the setup, and this one is needed when you run the service. So we need to set this extra variable, runtime equals Peregrine. So export. Oh, I think I was here. Yeah? It doesn't matter actually, but I've got to put all of them together. Export runtime equals Peregrine. We can check it with echo again. Great. And then we can copy the command here. Yeah, it's going to do it in the, oh no, it has to be in the same terminal. Yeah, this one. Again, it will take the Docker image from docker.io KILT Protocol. And the Docker image is called OpenDID, and the latest version. You can set, of course, a specific version if you need it. And here's the port where it's going to be hosted on your computer. And yeah, and here it's good to mention this D, this -D. It means detached. So with that, you have like way less logs. If you have any trouble setting up this, try to run the command without the D, like just delete this completely, and then you will get some more logs. You can find out what the problem is. We can check now which container is running. You can see right now it's a bit too much zoom. Okay, you can see KILT Protocol OpenDID latest is running since 53 seconds ago, and it's hosted on this port. So that's not the last step, because we have the front end, back end from OpenDID, but it doesn't have a website to redirect to. So we still need to start the demo project. Of course, you will replace this with your project you're going to develop, but I definitely suggest you to first do it with a demo. It's just copying this command here, and it gets the OpenDID -demo image from docker.io. Okay, it seems like it's working. We can run again docker ps. So we have two. Maybe I can get rid of this sidebar so it's a bit bigger. Again, okay, so we have containers. Whoops, no, it's not real. Okay, we have the two containers, OpenDID demo and OpenDID. And they're running on these ports, 1606 and 3001. So then with that, we are done. So everything is up and running. Now we can go to the front end of the website that's going to use it. In this case, just for a demo, is localhost 1606. Click on that. As you can see, it's very minimal because it's supposed to be replaced with your website. But this is a function. You just click here on login, and yeah, you get to redirect it to the real OpenDID container. That it's a bit fancier. It looks good if you ask me. I like it. I love it. And here they ask you to choose the extension you want to use. I will recommend just choosing Sporon. You click on continue. Oh yeah, the first time it will ask you, Sporon will ask you to give permission to interact with the website, and that's the point where it also will check the well-known DID configuration. But yeah, the first time you have to do one extra authorization, and then it shows me all the credentials of the type that we specified on the configuration. It's always here an email credential. I have a bunch of identities on my foreign wallet, but today I'm just gonna use the official one, my official identity. Oh well, yeah, it's still for testnet. So yeah, this is still my real email, and that's at kilt.io. You can see here there is this, maybe you cannot see, but there's a small asterisk, a small extension star. That's to indicate that it's acquired. Normally, you could take it out if your credential have more properties. You can choose which ones to send and which one not. But if it's required, you cannot unclick it, and then you say next. And you put your password, so you sign to prove the website that you really own this credential. Let's see if I remember my password. I think so. Oh yeah. Great. And then you're redirected to the original website, 1606, and you got some, what are you asking? You get redirected to the original website, and it got some authentication token, and it also has the Web3 name inside of it. And from this point, it's just Web3 name. Okay. What do you want to do? Docker URL. Okay, so that's it. That's for the demo. So that you are done with the login. Then you can do like regular Web2. You have the authentication token. It's important to say before we pass to the next tema that the OpenDID will check that the credential is really owned by this person and is still valid on chain, and that the trusted attester, that issuer or the attester is a trusted entity, but it won't check like the email if it's the email from Bob that you don't like and you don't want Bob using your account, your service. You will have to add a logic afterwards, after getting the authentication token and saying, okay, this is Bob and this is his data. You can still say afterwards, oh no, Bob, I know it's Bob. I'm sure that it's Bob now, but I don't want Bob here. Left it out. Yeah. And yeah, that's it for OpenDID. You see, it took, I don't know how long, like 50 minutes for Bob. Yeah. And I've been asking to show a Docker command.
The URL of what you're saying back.
The Docker URLs are here on the README file of the OpenDID, KILT Protocol /OpenDID. You can go there and scroll to the README, and there is all 3 URLs there. So docker.io, KILT Protocol, OpenDID setup for the setup container, then only the OpenDID for the service container, and OpenDemo for the demo container. Hope that explained the question. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them now. If not, that's everything I wanted to show today. I wish you luck using this, implementing it, and yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys do with that.
Thank you, Andrés. I was being a bit cautious there before, like rushing to and start into a wrap-up mode, as I did like a few minutes ago. But yeah, apologies for this.
Yeah,
yeah, for all of you that are still in the audience,
go ahead.
Just wanted to say, make sure to reach out to Andrés and Dudley as well, who is also in the audience and helping a lot. If you have any questions regarding documentation or the presentation slides, will be added to our hacker pack. So even for those of you that are like watching a recording, you will have the access to all of these within the hacker pack, and you will be able to go through all the details that you might have missed in case they were shown like quite fast. But in any case, thank you, Andrés, once again for a really detailed. I think everybody in the audience and those that will be watching the recording will enjoy the presentation. And yeah, thank you for this amazing effort today.
Thank you for having me, Jason. That was great. Yeah, maybe you can mention the Discord channel or the Telegram channel on the messages. Yeah, as I say, you can go ask us that, or you can go to web3.in and click my Web3 name. That's Andrés, like this, and you can see here some credentials that I publish. It's an extra process I don't display today. You can decide to publish your credentials, and here it's my official email. You can grab me over there. Okay. Yeah.
Great. Amazing. I think
we're done for today.
That is it. Thank you all. Thank you for this for attending this workshop, and see you all for the last workshop of the series next week. Have a great day, all.